The book of Genesis provides a detailed account of the early generations of humanity and the relationship between humans and God. As humanity spread across the earth, God made a significant decision that altered the natural lifespan of people. Genesis 6 verse 3 states, "Then the Lord said, My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. Before this declaration, several of Adam's descendants lived exceptionally long lives, sometimes reaching or exceeding 900 years, as recorded in the genealogies of Genesis. However, humanity's moral decline led God to reassess his creation. Genesis 6 verses 5 to 6 tells us, "The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. As a result, God decided to destroy all living beings." Genesis 6 verse 7 reads, "So the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created, and with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground. For I regret that I have made them." Yet, amid this sorrowful decision, there was a glimmer of hope. God found favor with a righteous man named Noah. Genesis 6 verses 9 to 10 describes Noah as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. It appears that Noah was possibly the only person left who worshiped God appropriately and lived according to his intentions. God revealed his plan to Noah, explaining that he intended to end humanity due to their violence and corruption. He instructed Noah to build an ark from durable timber and cover it with tar both inside and out. God provided specific measurements for the ark, saying it should be 300 cubits long, approximately 133 meters, 50 cubits wide, about 22 meters, and 30 cubits high, around 13 meters. Additionally, God commanded Noah to make a roof for the ark, leaving a 44-centimeter gap between the roof and the sides. Despite the grim news, God established a covenant with Noah, promising to save him and his family. Genesis 6 verse 18 states, "But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you." Furthermore, God instructed Noah to bring 2 of every kind of living creature, male and female, to keep them alive during the flood. Genesis 7 verses 1 to 2 reveals that God commanded Noah to take 7 pairs of ritually clean animals and 1 pair of unclean animals. Although Genesis does not specify how Noah identified clean and unclean animals, later biblical texts such as Leviticus 11 provide guidance. Clean animals included those that chewed the cud and had split hooves, such as cattle, sheep, and goats. Unclean animals, like pigs, dogs, and certain birds such as vultures and hawks, were not to be eaten or offered as sacrifices. God warned Noah that in 7 days he would send rain that would last for 40 days and nights, wiping out all living beings on earth. Genesis 7 verse 5 records Noah's obedience, and Noah did all that the Lord commanded him. Despite the magnitude of God's instructions, Noah remained silent, displaying unwavering faith. When the floodwaters arrived, Noah was 600 years old. Genesis 7 verses 11 to 12 states, "In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, on that day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened, and rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Noah, his family, and the animals entered the ark, and God himself shut the door behind them. The floodwaters rose, covering even the highest mountains. Genesis 7 verses 21 to 23 solemnly describes the destruction. Every living thing that moved on land perished, birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swarm over the earth, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals and the creatures that move along the ground and the birds were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. The floodwaters prevailed for 150 days before they began to recede. Noah tested the water levels by sending out birds. When a dove returned with an olive leaf, Noah knew the floodwaters had receded. Eventually, the ark came to rest on Mount Ararat. Genesis 8 verse 14 states that by the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. God instructed Noah to leave the ark with his family and the animals so they could repopulate the earth. Genesis 8 verses 20 to 21 describes Noah's first act upon leaving the ark. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord and, taking some of all the clean animals and clean birds, he sacrificed burnt offerings on it. The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though every inclination of the human heart is evil from childhood. And never again will I destroy all living creatures, as I have done." God blessed Noah and his sons, commanding them to be fruitful and multiply. Genesis 9 verses 2 to 3 states, "The fear and dread of you will fall on all the beasts of the earth, and on all the birds in the sky, on every creature that moves along the ground, and on all the fish in the sea. They are given into your hands. Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you, just as I gave you the green plants. I now give you everything." However, God prohibited the consumption of blood, as Genesis 9 verse 4 instructs, "But you must not eat meat that has its lifeblood still in it." God also established a covenant with Noah, symbolized by the rainbow. Genesis 9 verses 14 to 17 reads, "Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth." The story of Noah and the flood serves as a powerful reminder of God's authority and judgment. It illustrates his willingness to destroy all that he created when humanity's sinfulness reached unbearable levels. However, it also highlights God's mercy, as he spared Noah and his family and made a promise never to flood the earth again. Believers may see Noah as a role model for obedience and faithfulness to God. Additionally, the story underscores that God does not hesitate to fulfill his plans, even when it involves widespread destruction. At the same time, he shows mercy by preserving Noah, his family, and the animals. This tale reminds believers not to take life for granted and to live in a way that honors God.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.